Good morning, everybody. Orange J here with another War of the Visions video, and I know there's so much stuff coming out, and Final Fantasy VII is so many people's favorite game, and all of that, so I'm sitting here live on Twitch, and I had an idea for a video. I thought it would be cool if I did a little tier list over the Final Fantasy VII collaboration, both the stuff that is out with this rerun, and the new stuff, Yuffie, Sephiroth, the Vision cards that are coming out, and made a tier list of what I think you should pull based on strength in PvP and PvE combined. Kind of just like, what do I think is the strongest thing? Now, before I start this tier list, I want to tell you what is triple S tier. Like SSSSS, quadruple, quintuple, whatever, all the S's tier. That is your favorite unit. If there is somebody that you just love, if you're a huge Aerith fan, Aerith? That could, you know, if you Aerith and Barrett, then you make Aerith. If you're a huge Aerith fan or a huge Tifa fan, all of these units are usable in my opinion. None of them suck, and if you just want to like stan one of them, you can absolutely do it, especially if you have the team to build around them. So the highest tier unit is the thing you want the most. Now, let me go ahead and let's take emotional preferences out of this and do a tier list based on what is actually, I think, strong. And I'll start with the stuff that's out right now. First, Guard Scorpion. This is a Vision card Esper combo, and I'm going to slide this into S tier for pulling during the Final Fantasy VII collab, simply because it's two things in one, and it's easy to get. So you can pull this for 2k paid Visual right now, or you can 5-step it and choose it or Tifa's Vision card. You get a really strong Lightning Element BC, which is great for Lightning players, and you get a super good Esper, especially for Cloud or other Lightning DPS users, but really just good in general. So I think, and I actually think it's the best thing in this Final Fantasy VII rerun that we're getting before the new stuff comes out. So Scorpion Sentinel going to jump into S tier for me. Next, Cloud. Cloud at one point, like if we were talking a year ago, Cloud would have been right here at the top of this list, and we'd been like, get ready for the missile slash reflex meta of Cloud, who's going to dominate PvE and PvP, and it's a year later, so I'm going to drop him down to here. Look, Lightning is full of great DPS units. If you already have a bunch of them, you might not need Cloud in your group. However, he is still a really good PvP unit. He has reflex, he does a lot of damage, missile, slash type, guaranteed hit, all of that. He's also still one of the best lightning chain units in the game for high score PvE mission runs. So he is incredibly useful. If you're a big Cloud fan, Cloud's not going to do you wrong. He can still be your boy. Go get Cloud if you're a fan of him. He's still really good. A tier for those reasons. Next up is Barrett. I'm going to drop Barrett into B tier. Now, I've been messing with Barrett live on stream here for a while, and I want to mention something real quick. What they did with Barrett, I agree with. They took somebody who was like not a great tank for PvP and said, we're going to go a different route with him. We already have Snow, Agrius, Frievia as tanks in the ice element. So let's lean more into his damage. Let's lean more into him as a high damage bruiser. And I think that's the route for him to go. Because of that, I think he's solidly a B tier character, which, if you're looking at my tiers, I think for this collaboration, that means someone who's very usable in PvP. For PvE, I would actually rank him higher than this. He has great chaining and debuff abilities in PvE, so he's great there on your ice chaining teams. He can tank for you if you lack some other tanks, or if you want to play ice and you don't have like Snow, or you haven't got Agrius or leveled up Frievia. He could do that job, but you're sacrificing some of his power just to get that initial hate, and then he doesn't have any other ways of really generating it. So not a great tank, but a pretty decent high damage bruiser for ice element, B tier, in terms of if I would recommend pulling him for this collaboration or not. Next, Aerith. Now I'm going to put Aerith above Barrett in the B tier. Previously, I would have had them about the same, and I think they both got significantly better. I think Aerith is a very solid support for the water element. PvE-wise, I don't think she has the same amount of usefulness as Barret. PvP-wise, I think she's better. She has a great magic shield that she can give to her group. She does decent damage if you kind of let the AI do that. Her healing buffs defense and spirit as she's healing, so you're getting kind of like extra bang for your buck there. She can give re-raise. That re-raise is about to get upgraded when she gets her 140 to also give CT up. She's a great healer. What holds her back a little bit though is the element that she heals for has Celis as its like tank, right? Celis is already incredibly good against magic, and Aerith is a better unit against magic in PvP than she is against physical. So there's kind of this lack of synergy there where I don't know if I'd ever run Celis Aerith. Like, maybe I would, but I'd probably rather run Celis Ildira or just Celis and 2 DPS users and run the enemy team over. So that holds Aerith back a little bit in my opinion, but if you're a new player and you don't have a healer yet, oh, she could do it for you. She's plenty good, solid B tier unit. Next, Tifa. I'm going to put Tifa into B tier as well, and in fact, I'm going to put Tifa slightly ahead of Barret. Here's my deal with Tifa, right? Wind as an element, let's start with PvP. Wind as an element in PvP is stacked. The top end of Wind, specifically Sottily and Flagbearer Glassy, are some of the best DPS units in the game. They are all over the meta. She is not going to be able to take one of their spots if you're saying, I want the strongest PvP team. However, she does a lot of damage. It's striking type damage, which is hard to mitigate, and she's hard to kill. She has courage, she's fairly tanky, she's again in this like bruiser category, a high damage bruiser, right? I talk about that a lot because Dark is all about that in this game, Earth is all about that in this game, Tifa kind of all about that. She can also evade if you build her that way. There's kind of two build paths you could go with Tifa. Do you make her hard to kill, or do you make her an evade unit? Do you know what's holding her back for evade? 2B. 2B has yet to get upgraded. We have not got a Nier reincarnation, or wait, what am I talking about? We haven't gotten a 2B rerun. Nier has not reran in War of the Visions yet. If it did, and if 2B became like a great wind evasion unit, then I think you have a really interesting build team with Tifa and 2B. But until that happens, and the devs have said that they are going to eventually give us Nier, I don't think the evade Tifa route is the way to go. Instead, I think you build Tifa in PvP like you build Dark Leela for the dark element, where she's hard to kill, has courage, does a lot of damage, and maybe you get a lucky dodge every once in a while. Okay, that brings me to Tifa's card. Tifa's card is only really good on Tifa. Now, it does have single target resist 20, and that is keeping it from dropping all the way down to here. It's a wind element card, but the like buffs and things it gives are particularly great for Tifa and kind of not great for other units. I would only suggest getting this card if you're going to play her. If you play Tifa in your groups, yep, you throw that on her, you let it buff her up all the way, give your group that single target resist, combine that with an area attack resist card to get that like, you know, 20% damage mitigation that those two cards give together, and then you're off to the races. But if you're not pulling Tifa, I actually would not suggest pulling this vision card. It's going to be the lowest ranked thing on this list. It's not useless. It's not going to drop down to here. And again, maybe if they buff 2B someday, make Wind Evade a thing, this card rises in my recommendations a little bit. But right now, it's the thing I would recommend pulling the least. Okay, let's get to the future stuff. Now, I'm going to preview these a little bit. A lot more preview of these right before they come out. But Sephiroth's Vision card. You know what? Let's do these in a different order. Let me move Sephiroth and Yuffie around a little bit here. Let's start with Sephiroth because that's the easiest one. He is, in terms of power, going to be my most recommended thing. Dark is a really strong element. This dude is going to be a top tier damage dealer in our game for a while. If you are looking to only pull the strongest thing during this collaboration, there it is. Go get yourself Sephiroth and just allow him to merge with your other strong dark units. Make your 3-man PvP teams. He's going to slaughter light. Like if you're looking to just go crush some light teams, there's your guy to do that. He's amazing. Now, let's talk about his vision card for a second. His vision card, and I'm going to pull it up on the screen here, is, oh, well, that's, watch this. Let me fix that. Boom. Here's his vision card. So, I like the stat line on it, like it has attack, it has AP, I like those things, but it is a job-based VC. Slash attack 42 is a lot, reaction block rate 32 is really nice, and critical evade is a cool kind of third thing. It gives agility as the unit effect, and it will get a global buff, specifically for Sephiroth. So if you're pulling him, I definitely think you also pull this card. However, it is a job-based card, so if your plan on Sephiroth is running mono dark, you are a little limited on your units. Here's the units for that card. Sephiroth is dark, Golbez is dark, but that's kind of weird. Dean, yeah, old Dean down here on the JP side. Let's go with Dwayne. That's a potential option if Dwayne ever gets his like master ability 2 for global, and if they buff it a little bit more, that would be great. I really hope they hook Dwayne up in global. Black Rose Helena. So you can see the other dark units on this card are not top tier dark units. They're just not. So that does hold this card back a little bit. However, you have like Reagan coming out, who's going to be a really strong slasher. You have Astrius. There's really strong other elements on here. So if you're trying to build a rainbow team out of this card, I think it becomes better. Otherwise, it might be like a great sub-slot card, like second VC card on Sephiroth in a mono dark team, something like that. Especially, let's wait and see what unit effect Sephiroth gets on it. Specifically, I'm going to drop this card into B tier for now. It might be more like A tier. If you're pulling Sephiroth, I think you combo them. You definitely pull both. If you're only pulling one of these, I don't know that I would recommend it that much. In fact, if you're only pulling one of them, I would probably pull Sephiroth. But then if you're going to pull Sephiroth, I'll put it here. Have I just talked myself into putting this into A tier? Yes, because I don't think you're pulling this unless you also pull Sephiroth. So pull Sephiroth, then pull his vision card, but prioritize Sephiroth over the VC. In my opinion, top of B, I don't think. A. Okay, there it is. Let's keep going. Yuffie. Now, Yuffie. All right, let me switch my... Let's wait, watch this. Boom, back up here. So Yuffie is a fire evade unit, and she is going to be the unit that makes fire evade like its full potential. It's already out here. You see Pissarro running around, sometimes with the Valentine's Day Yildira, sometimes with like some wind element units who give Pissarro hate and re-raise. Guys, fire evade arrives in full when Yuffie gets here. She is a great unit. I'm going to drop her into A tier. But there's a caveat with Yuffie. She's an A tier fire evade unit, and if you're not playing fire evade, don't pull her. So she's really strong, A tier, and she comes with a vision card. Now let's do what we just did before. Let me switch back to the other version of this screen right here, and let's put Yuffie's vision card on the screen. Here it is. It is an attack luck, so luck, good, really good for evade units. HP card, gives single target resist and attack up. We don't know what Yuffie's global buff for this will be. Then the party effects is acquired AP 60%, that's good for basically everybody. Critical damage, good for basically everybody, and evasion rate 20. So not only is this an evasion card, but the party effect, you're like, man, but what about Pissarro and my other evade units? Don't even worry about it. Pissarro is on this card. Yuffie is on this card. Sweetheart Yildira is on this card. If you're going cost limited, Slime is on everything. If you're going mixed element evade, Violet, Zazon, Halloween Frederica, Farm if you're really feeling froggy about things, on this card. This card is really good. Even King Mont is on this card. If you wanted to go double evade tank, this card will do it. This card is actually better than Yuffie in my opinion, but you still want both of them. So, and the unit is cooler. So if I'm recommending like what you should pull or not pull, let me throw this back on like that. I'm saying you pull them both. I'm going to drop the card into B tier though, because you know what? Let's see. Like this? It's that good. I think it's that good. I've changed this. I previewed where I was going to put everything before I recorded the video. Then while I was talking about it, kind of convinced myself into this order. So let's recap real quick. I think if you're pulling purely for power, I would pull Sephiroth more than anything else, and I like Guard Scorpion because it's the only vision card Esper in this collab, and it is really, really strong, especially for Cloud, which I think is about near the top of A tier. Cloud has fallen off a little bit. He's no longer S, but still super good. If you pull Sephiroth, you want his vision card. Yuffie is the queen of Fire Evade. Her vision card is going to make Fire Evade insanely good. Then I have the other 3 rerun characters in B. I think Aerith, Tifa, Barret is about this power combo there. They're probably interchangeable. Just, do you have what you need to build them into a team? If so, they will work. They will do their jobs just fine for you. And then Tifa's vision card, I think I only recommend pulling that if you're pulling Tifa. Otherwise, I'd pass on it, and there we go. So that's what I would recommend pulling for this Final Fantasy VII collaboration, both the rerun and the new part of the collaboration. Good luck on your pulls if you're about to do some, and remember this as well. If you're looking at pulling something this week, look how long the banners last. A lot of these banners are 48-day banners. You don't necessarily have to make a choice right now. That is something you need to keep in mind. Alright guys, thank you for watching. Have a great day, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.